Hi, I'm Caren, and welcome to our Restorative Yoga for the New Year intention setting class. We'll rest our bodies in stillness with restorative yoga poses using props so that we can listen to that still voice within to help us come up with a word that will guide our path forward in the new year. You're just going to need a couple props to begin. So we'll do 2 yoga bolsters. You can use 2 flat like I am, or 1 round and 1 flat, and several yoga blankets. Let's begin in Surfboard. This is a variation on the pose you'll find in my restorative yoga book. We'll use 1 bolster lengthwise up the mat. And the second bolster, if you're using the round one, place the round one widthwise across the mat. Take 1 blanket and make a long skinny roll. So this blanket is about the width of the mat, and then I'm just rolling up the long side. And place that all the way at the edge of the mat. And coming into Surfboard, what you'll do is hook your ankles over top of the blanket roll, and then reach your arms forward as you lower yourself down onto both bolsters. You'll scoot back or forward as you need so that you feel like the back edge of your tailbone is dripping off the bolster, and your whole chest and abdomen and the head are supported on the bolster in front of you. So turn a cheek to the bolster now. And make any adjustments that you need with your arms in front or to the sides. Maybe they come out wider, as if a goalpost expression with the arms could be possible here. Maybe they're more in front. Maybe the kneecaps and the feet are wider so that the pelvis is relaxed. Any adjustments so that you can take up space and feel fully held by the props underneath you. As we enter into the practice, close the eyes and allow yourself to rest. Take a fuller breath into the whole back body. And perhaps empty through the mouth with a soft sigh or just the nose. And with every exhalation, feel yourself becoming more held by the support of the props and the earth. Letting the mind begin to rest. And all movement to become still. Through this practice, we very quickly come into stillness. And that might be a challenge for you at this moment in time, and that's okay too. Transition from doing and moving into resting and being. Now shift your attention to your right knee and leg. And slide that right knee up toward the outside edge of the bolster. You might need to lift your chest for this. The knee is touching toward the floor, but the whole inside of the thigh and the hip are cradled by the support of the bolster into half frog. Relax the toes outward, let the ankle be soft, and return back with your head toward the bolster if it came upright, rearranging your arms into the most comfortable position for right now. Release any grip in the right inner thigh and buttock, grip in the calf muscle or the ankle. Feel the whole right leg completely relaxed. Use just enough effort to slide the right knee and the leg toward length, resting the ankle on top of the blanket roll. And before you switch to the other side, notice how the right inner hip feels compared to the left. Now, when you're ready, support yourself as you need, so you can slide your left knee up, letting the knee come toward the floor, dropping down with ease, and the whole inside of that left hip hugged and cradled by the prop, and making any adjustments as you need so that's even more comfortable for you. Not necessary to hike the knee up very high. It can come down at an angle. Let the ankle be soft with the toes, perhaps pointing away from the mat. And then resting your arms back down in the most restful position. And this time, perhaps turning the opposite cheek to the bolster, gazing in the direction of the knee. Giving yourself one more breath here. Begin to transition out by sliding the left knee down, the leg goes long. Resting with your head down and your arms wide, see if there's any shift in this left inner thigh and hip. And now let's come up and out of this position by sliding the hands inward toward the chest on either side of the bolster. Push into the palms, press into the knees, activate the glutes a little bit so that as you lift up with the hips, you start to walk the knees forward and come into a tabletop, walking your feet off of the rolled blanket, sitting back on your heels if you like, or any other comfortable seat for you. And as the heart and the chest, the front of the body makes contact with the air, breathing in and out, no longer feeling that density holding the front body. Noticing any feelings of lightness or rest that are starting to permeate your experience here. Let's keep one flat bolster widthwise across the mat and move the other one off to the side. Keep the rolled blanket as it is for now and grab another blanket and open it up until it's quite thin, about the size of the mat or a little bit wider, and place that at one side of the mat, smoothing out any wrinkles. Make sure there is some space between your bolster and that blanket, and then sit on top of the bolster, turning away, opposite from the blanket you just put down, into a supported bridge pose. Now start with the feet hip distance apart and the toes pointing straight forward. So for many of us, that means that the big toes angle in a little bit. And then lower yourself down through your elbows onto the shoulders until the back of your head touches the blanket. Ensure that there's space on either side of you for your arms to go into a wide V with the palms up. Feeling the heaviness of the shoulders against the floor, heaviness of the back of the pelvis against the bolster. And if there's any discomfort in your back, experiment with either scooting the bolster up or farther away from your upper back. Either direction until you feel solid and held in the low back and the pelvis. With the feet separated hip distance, let go into the grip of the inner thighs. And if that tends to automatically splay your knees wide, then walk your feet a little bit wider until it feels like you could hold your legs up here without collapsing them in or letting them splay out. Just a minimal amount of effort to hold the legs upright. You can apply an eye covering here or simply close the eyes. And bring attention to your navel. With every exhale, sense that the navel is getting heavier, gliding downward and in toward the spine. Downward and in toward the bolster. Downward and into the earth. Relax the lips, tongue, and the jaw. Sensing an effortlessness begin to sweep through the body. Allowing peace to arise. You could choose to stay present with the breath, especially if you find that the mind is quite busy today. And that's okay. No judgment at all. Just feeling and sensing your way back into the body and the breath. Staying present with the felt sensation of relaxation. Once again, bring attention to the navel. This time focusing on the inhales. Feeling as you inhale the rise of the heaviness of the navel upward and forward. Upward and forward from the props, the floor, toward the air above you. Sensing with each inhale a lightness. Begin gentle movements into the fingers and maybe the feet. Move the legs in such a way that they come a bit closer together. The hands will arrive at the bolster and then push into the floor, lifting the hips, and just slide the bolster forward toward your knees until your hips come back down to the mat. You can keep going, sliding the bolster forward even more as the legs extend, the ankles hook over the rolled blanket, the knees at the back of the bolster. Your head is already here on the blanket underneath you, but if you require more softness at the back of your head, then I recommend just lifting up momentarily, folding the blanket over, and using that for the head as we move into basic relaxation pose. Another option here, as you replace any eye covering that you had, is to take a final blanket over top of the whole body to keep warm, or just around the abdomen region. Let the arms return back to a V with the palms up. Widen the legs. And let's stretch the arms wider to the sides, opening them out to a T, scooting a little over to the right, a little over to the left, feeling that broadness at the shoulders, then set the arms back down into a V. Touch the index fingers to the thumbs into Jnana Mudra. invoking wisdom and clarity so that you can begin to listen within to your own intuition and to your own heart's deepest longing to discover a word for the new year. A word to start with that can embody how you'd like to feel, what you'd like to bring forth and embody in yourself in the new year. Let's slow down the exhalations. So inhale naturally and slow down the exhalation, lengthening the exhale until you feel the natural inclination to breathe in again, and then breathing in naturally and comfortably. And again, slowing down the exhale, welcoming relaxation and balance in the body through this breath. Sense that the whole face, the whole body from crown to toes becomes even more at rest with every long exhalation. The mind as well is soft. The body is warm. Release all effort in the breath with this next exhale. And then let the body breathe itself. Place your attention in your heart center, going deep into the center of the body, energetically, as if moving into a cave. And from this space of deep rest, allow a word to come to you in your heart, what you'd like to embody in the new year. Trust that probably the first thing that arrived is right for right now. And if nothing is arriving or everything is arriving, just sitting with that of all the potential, all the possibilities. Perhaps allowing your attention to distill down to the one that makes your heart leap a little, makes it feel more alive. And now release the index fingers and the thumbs. Release all mental thought and struggle to think. Instead, just feel your way in. And if the word has arrived, say it a few times and try it on. Breathe it in and breathe it out. And let yourself completely rest with your word for a little bit of silence. Awaken from stillness and from your practice with any gentle movements that you like. Perhaps a bigger, fuller breath in and out. Bring the knees in toward the heart, letting any props fall away as they like. Roll over onto a side of your choice and rest in a ball. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Perhaps still keeping the eyes closed if possible as you arrive. And take your hands together at your heart. Anjali Mudra. Speak your word again silently. And invite yourself to move forward into writing an intention with this word. A positive present tense statement as if what you had was already here. Incorporating this word somehow or the essence of it in your intention. That will come at a later time. Perhaps right after this practice, you can begin to write that down. For now, release the hands and open the eyes. We offer gratitude to all the teachers who have paved the path for us to know this about ourselves, to rest in deep peace in the space of yoga and unity. Best wishes for a wonderful new year ahead for you. Thank you for joining me for this practice, or join me for live classes in the new year through my spiritual yoga community for those who identify as women in Held. I look forward to seeing you there or here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, all the things. Hope to practice with you again sometime soon.